What's up, and welcome back to Ringworm on this fine windy day. I just spent 30 minutes blasting down the trails on the four-wheeler, packing all the snow down. If I don't do that every now and then, it gets too deep to drive through, and I think I may have frozen my eyeballs. I certainly froze a few fingers, but man, that was brisk. All right, where are we at here? I think I got the days warm enough to run the video camera, so let's do something. I really just have 3 things left to do on this before I can start doing the fun stuff on the inside. Need to put a roof on it. The shingles and tar paper will take no time, but before I can put a roof on it, I have to figure out the stove on the inside. And then clearly the second thing I need to do is build a door, and the third is not nearly as much fun. Actually, I'm going to leave that for last because that's putting the battens on these 2 walls. This one you can see, I don't know, kind of hard to tell, but you can see right through it. So I need to cut and nail on all the battens, that wall and this wall. And at some point after the stove is in, I need to caulk this and the front wall. This isn't getting battens, it's going to stay just like this, but I'm going to take, I think this is what I did on the deer castles, take a utility knife and kind of cut each crack into a V so you can really get caulk in there. And I'm going to caulk these all with that that roof tar I'm so fond of. I started using that roof tar on the deer castle because it was the cheapest exterior caulk I could find, and I mean it's worked fine. Not really sure what the downside is. Stinks a little bit when you use it, but I kind of like the smell. But I can't caulk this in until I have the propane stove in there and running, because all the caulk tubes are frozen. There's no way the stuff's even going to come out of the tube, so probably have to get the whole thing warm inside, put some tubes of caulk over the heat, warm them up, come out and caulk real quick, switch them out, whatever. So, I guess if I'm gonna leave the battens for last, it's either door or roof. What do you think? Anybody want to take a vote? I don't know if the speaker's not good on this. Every time I ask you guys questions, I never hear anything. You guys saw in one of the last videos, I got the propane stove out, had it sitting here with these pavers on 3 sides. I sent Tito a picture and said, what do you think about putting it in that corner? And he just kind of said, well, you know, what's the use? Why are you putting it in, all that? And it's really to take a little bit of chill off in the winter nights, but more than anything to dry my stuff out. So if I put it in that corner, I'm not gonna have much room to make a good drying rack there. So I think I'm just gonna set it right in the middle of this wall, like maybe between those studs, and the pipe will go up, pop through the ceiling. The only downside is that this is the only corner I have to put a nice big workbench or work table in. But I had this idea that I can make this centerpiece removable, put a hole through it so the pipe comes through. In the winter, I'll take it out of there. I can have drying racks up here for my sleeping bag and clothes and everything. And then the summer, the pipes are so small. They're like, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches or something. I could just pop those out of there and put a piece back in here to make it a full work table. If nothing else, it sounds like a fun thing to make, doesn't it? Removable, transforming work table. It's the best I can come up with on short notice, and since it sounds more fun than anything else I can think of, that's what I'm gonna do. So many of these things are like, you know, maybe you do it, and later on you realize, oh, I should have put it somewhere else, or, you know, it would work better here or there. I have no problem changing that stuff down the line. I mean, I'm certainly hoping I don't have to, like it's gonna cause some huge problem, because there will be a hole in the roof, but it's not like you can't fix that stuff. But really, I could sit here and think about it for 3 days and pro-con everything, but I find I give it a solid 5 minutes of thinking. I do whatever sounds the best or the most fun, and very seldom do I regret it. You know, it's like if you can live out here in a tent through the winter year round, then any propane stove in any structure is going to be about 6,000% warmer and more comfortable than sleeping in a tent. So it's good enough, and it'll be really cool to have it in there. Who am I trying to convince? Probably myself. Usually myself. The problem is I just took my headphones out, and when I take them out, I actually start thinking, and I do not like that feeling. It's horrible. So I'll put those back in, stop thinking, and then we'll go to work on something here. Yeah, I might actually have to mill lumber to make this door, and I think it's already like 11, so I only have maybe 6 hours at most to do this. So let's figure out the wood stove and cut a hole up there. And then the next time the weather's nice again, I can hop up and roof this thing. Sound like a good deal? Let's do that. That's better. Dumb me right down. I think it's supposed to be making me smarter, isn't it? Going through like an audiobook a day. Looks like maybe I don't really want that to sit. It'd be nice if it could fit flat against the wall like that, but then I guess it doesn't for those up at all. So maybe I'll just make a little box behind it, little 2x4 scrap box, and keep it popped out like that. Let's grab the stove and have a look. Yep, that's gonna do it just fine right there. It's like, oh, I need some 2x4 scraps back here just to punch that brick out a little bit. Something like that. Yeah, actually something just like that. Let's see if this, uh-oh. Looks like it's gonna hit that rafter up there going straight up. Well, I just barely missed it. I guess I could run it at an angle too. I don't have any elbows or anything. Ooh, I think I just got a better idea. I just measured out the bunk that flips down is going to be just big enough to fit my air mattress, my thermarest. It's like 3 inches thick. You know what a thermarest is, a big fat thermarest, 3 inches thick. I think it's 82 by 32 or something like that. And it'll be flipped down here. I was trying to think if there's any other place I could put it. The big thing with this is for me to remember that this is mostly a tool room. For like 9 months out of the year. This is just a place to pile all my junk, keep it out of the elements, work on stuff when the weather's bad. So I gotta, right now I'm like, I want to get it done so I can get in here and get out of the tent, but you know, for most of the year, it's not going to be a place to sleep. I put this down, I measured out where my bunk will come to. It'll flip down, be right along here. That's where the corner will be. So I think that's a pretty great spot for this. It runs up right in between the rafters there. Yep, I think that's it. The other huge advantage is that this whole corner could be used for drying stuff. So I could do like a wire rack this whole corner, maybe even a couple layers, and it won't be in the way of anything. That's good enough for me. That's my 5 minutes. Let's drill some holes. How's that look from down there? Just about right? Perfect. Right in between the rafters. You want to see something really cool? Check out the weather in here. And look out there. I think I'll do my board cutting inside for a change. God, this is really glamorous, isn't it? It's gonna be the first day working on stuff when it's snowing out and not getting soaked to the bone. I could get used to this. And make some 2x4s out of whatever junk I can find around here. Either that or end up burning it. Looks like it'll work. I have to pull it all back out to do the roofing, but I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna be real nice right there. I think I'll just go throw the cap on it. It's gonna have to stay there for a little bit. I just realized I don't have fascia. I think I used up all the long cedar boards up there in the roof. Aspen up to there, and then I ran out of aspen and I had those 5 cedar boards, so I put them in the top there. And at some point along the project, I did stick it in my brain that I could use those for the fascia around the outside of the building. And then I got lost in my head, so yeah, I kind of need, well, I'll show you what I'm looking at. This one time I am going to use drip edge all the way around here, and the drip edge needs to go right on that corner there, and I can't do that until I get the fascia on there. And that's a little bit of a problem because I don't have any cedar left. I don't know, maybe I do. Maybe I have a little bit. Kind of hate to do half boards for the fascia, but let me dig through this big snowy pile and see what's in there. Well, I only came up with one, plenty long, and I need it to be 4 inches. This is exactly 8, like to after I peel this to the edges. It's like right exactly on the border. I'd rather it was a couple inches wider. I think I'm going to try to rip this down the middle. I hate to do this with the circular saw because the batteries don't last long. There's no other option. There's not another board, and I'm not going to go mill another tree just for one. I don't think this is wide enough, but we're going to use it anyway. Like everything else, got a live edge. Hey, it does just fit. Nice. If you're a fan of grumpy old men like I am, you'd know I shouldn't hammer with that above my head. It's just big snowballs just creeping down at me. One of the finest movies ever made, by the way, in my humble opinion. That is always correct. That's not so bad. It just barely covered up the rafters. I think that'll do. Thinking I can get all this drip edge on there without actually getting on the roof, which would be nice. Got all the drip edge on, and camera keeps shutting off. I think it's down to like 7 or 8 degrees, and with the breeze it doesn't last long on the tripod. Little drip edge, little chimney action going on, and a nice sunset. So before I have to give up for the night and probably the next couple days, none of my battery tools will run anymore. If you can get anything to spin, it goes for like 5 seconds and dies, and the battery goes down to 0 from full. So it's time to give up on that. But you never guess what I just found. I mean, this already happened once and it like blew my mind. But remember this lumber pile over here? I was thinking there wasn't anything left, but I could still see one corner of the tarp sticking out. So if I left the tarp, there must have been something underneath it. Still got two, what's that, like a 12 or 14 inch 1.5 by massive boards. I think those are 12 feet long too, so that's freaking awesome. That's my door right there. And I still have a pretty good pile of cedar left over here too. Mostly short boards and some that were rotten down the middle. I was going to cut them all up into battens to close all this thing in, but I think I got all the stuff I need to get this closed in now. Okay, camera keeps dying. Gotta turn it off. All right, let's see if we can get a roof on this thing. This is going to go right down my shirt. Put a little standoff board on there so I don't squish my pretty drip edge. with my ladder. Had to dig some tar paper and shingles out of the snow. I think I got enough to do this whole thing. There's one little hitch here. I don't know if you guys remember, I was trying to figure out what pitch to make the roof. It was some pieces of lumber, some log I milled up or whatever, and whatever those were long enough to do, that's just the pitch I made. And I think I even bumped it down a little bit to like a 6, I think this is 612, 712, I don't know. Basically the highest pitch you can walk on without having to worry about sliding off of it. The only issue is that because that's the maximum pitch you can really safely walk on, now it's winter and everything's frozen. There's snow on stuff. I'm wearing rubber waterproof boots and whatever, so I can't really safely walk on it anymore. I mean, maybe when the shingles are on it, it'll be okay. But as it sits there, I've got to take these couple of boards off I was using to step on, keep my traction. I guess I'm going to just try to slowly work my way up. I'll pull that bottom one off, put tar paper, one row of tar paper along there, shingle it up to the next one, and keep jumping up like that. Hopefully I can get that whole bottom. It's even not very easy or safe to use an extension ladder either. I mean, this one's fine because I got it jammed against the stump, but I don't know. I don't want to make this any sketchier than it has to be. I also don't really have any way to film this. I mean, maybe I could take the tripod up there at some point, but you guys have seen me put multiple roofs on different structures, so shouldn't be anything fancy. If it gets too sketchy and I can't figure out how to do it, I'm gonna just grab my climbing gear. I'll tie a rope off back here, throw it over the roof, and just put a harness on, and then won't be a big deal. I've done that before, and it works fine. It's perfectly safe. It's just kind of a pain to, when you're moving back and forth, to keep letting the rope out and pulling it in and stuff. Okay, all right, let's give up on that. Oh no, too steep to set the shingles on. That makes it even worse. Well, I'm gonna get this done, I hope. But in order to be safe and not fall off the roof, I don't think I'm gonna do any recording. And I did get my climbing gear out. I kind of tested walking on this, and with slightly snowy boots, it's iffy. So I'm just gonna stay roped in, gonna put the camera away, knock this out. It's not really very fun to watch somebody put shingles on a roof, so see how long it takes me to knock this out. It's coming along. We're getting places here. Kept snowing on and off these big fat flakes, and had to stop and get the blower out, blow all the snow off here 2 or 3 times. It just got really pretty out here. I love the sun on the trees like that, especially in the winter. Got 3/4 of the way up on that side, and we'll be there the same on this side in just a minute. I'm gonna finish this by headlamp if I have to. I just want to get this done. Well, I didn't make it. It got dark. I did a little bit by headlamp and gave up. Just have to do the cap on there. And since I don't buy that kind of stuff, like the correct material, I'm just gonna do it with pieces of shingles. And since it's so cold, this is really hard to cut with it's like 4 degrees right now, so everything's super stiff, hard to cut through. So I'm gonna snap some lines on a few of these and cut a bunch at a time with my old nasty circular saw. I just came up with a better plan to get my my Ryobi batteries up to temperature so they work when it's this cold. I always have to boil my water anyway and put it in the cooler, so I'm gonna get it nice and toasty, a couple gallons. And if I can get it up to at least room temperature, I'll just throw all my batteries in here with the water bottles. You got to be crafty to make this work, and also a little bit stupid to put yourself in a situation to have to keep your batteries in a cooler with boiling water. Wow. They cut really easily when they're froze. I keep my old, both the old saw, but also a really old saw blade, and just mark it just for roofing stuff. Man, I don't really know how this is going to work with these so cold over the top, the peak of the roof. I hope they don't snap. Yep, like that. Huh. There must be a trick to doing this that I don't know. This is what I was looking at. You can see it's so cold, these are snapping and tearing a little bit. We got the roof. That's good. That feels really good to have that done. That's the least fun of the building projects for me. I mean, I guess if it was warmer, I don't mind doing it because it's quick, and the thing that's really kind of stressful is being out here alone and being on step ladders on the snow. It's just, like, in my opinion, about 600 times more dangerous than running a chainsaw out here. I just don't really like it, but hey, it's done. Stovepipes in, caps on, everything's cut off. So I guess it's time to build a door, and then rip up the rest of the cedar boards I have left and make some battens. I might even start the stove up before I put the battens on, just for the heck of it. You know, see if the stove works, then it'll be worth finishing this thing. If it's iffy, then we'll probably just knock the whole thing down and find something else to build. 34 1/4. All right, let's dig for scraps. Hey, there's a pretty one. Yeah, this is all good shelf stuff. Well, I think that other pile still has some full boards in it, so let's go dig through that and see what we can find. Wow, it still smells really good. It smells like it's fresh cut. There are a lot of them that are really close. So I guess we got a whole lot of whole board. Look at the size of that thing. I think this was the size of the bar, so that's probably like 17 inches or something. I got 2 whole ones left, so I can definitely build something cool out of these. And this guy's split halfway up, but there's still quite a bit of good board there. Getting late in the day, it was time for some snacks. Found a couple things that Tito picked up along the way. I don't know why he always goes for these sample size, the snack size. Seems like if you're gonna buy it, you might as well buy something big. It's kind of like eating broken glass. Fills you up. Look at that. Perfect. I hate when I make stuff like this and it's like 3 inches too big for the picnic table. Just perfect. Oh man, that wind's picking up. It is getting cold. It's almost tent time. Alright, let's see. What should we make this look like? I'm not going to try to make it match this because these are quite a bit heavier than normal 1x boards. Otherwise, that'd be a good way to get rid of a lot of scraps, but you can still get rid of 1x scraps. Let's think. What would look the coolest? Going this way? I might just go the other way just for fun. This is rotten in the middle, so that'll be battens. This is, oh, that's that. How did I end up with an aspen board? Whatever, don't think about it. Those are pretty nice. I think this log down here is really nice, but I think it's got some woodpecker holes. No, it's perfect. Well, I guess the quick and easiest is to go vertical, so let's make them vertical. That ought to do it. Alright, I won't make you watch. I'm going to rip all these down real quick. And we'll screw it all together. Since nothing I build is fully square, I think I'm going to put one screw in each board, carry the whole thing over there, put the hinges on it, hang it, and then I can jack one corner up to wherever I want and then screw in the other screw on each board to kind of freeze it in place. That's the best I can come up with because I think the door frame isn't quite square. I know this isn't. Some of the boards are warped, so of course, like always, I've never seen it done that way, but that's how I'm gonna do it. You know, chainsaw plus a battery-powered planer, hand planer, is really a great combo. I just drew lines on the back of this. Was going to take it all apart, cut it with the circular saw, and then I'd have to fit it all back together and make sure it all lines up again. But you rough cut anything with the chainsaw and then run the planer over it, make it look pretty. It's supposed to be done snowing at 8 or 9 this morning. Stayed in the tent until probably 10 o'clock and now it's picking up again. I just looked at the radar. Looks like it's probably going to snow all day. Just want to get this put together. Just threw an old towel over my tools so I can keep going out here. I'm going to get soaked, but whatever. Can't lay around all day. Got a brick of my used door hinges, slightly rusted, perfect. You don't want it to clash with the surroundings. A little bit of paint and everything, that's what you need. Authenticity. Funny, it didn't even really cross my mind that I could be in here out of the snow doing this. This is amazing. And it's exactly what this place is for. You want to do something during the day, build something, work on something. You don't want to stand in the snow, get soaked. You just come in here and you click a little heat on and act like a normal person. It's amazing how good it feels to have a door. Don't take your doors for granted, people. Well, I think this is going to work. Still my idea of just putting a few screws in here. I can still move this, so I guess I'll swing it closed, shim it up a little bit, put the rest of the screws in the door, and then I don't know if that's going to be enough to hold it all up, but it's definitely going to need some more something. I don't know if this is going to be strong enough to hold. That's a heavy door. It's got to be like 40 or 50 pounds. I mean, it'll be 15 once it dries out. But I think I'll put the screws in the outside and then find something to do some cross bracing in it, at least to make it look cool. Because that's fine, but it's a little bland. You know what would be really cool is to, I don't know if it would really work now. I guess it would just add more weight to the door. It'd be cool to put shelves on the back of this. Just have them come out like 6 inches and then a little rail on it or something. But that just makes the door heavier and heavier. Maybe I can do that once it dries out. It's completely closed in. This is something. It's been, I mean, not that it's not like I don't ever leave here. I do leave here and go see people and hang out inside and stuff, but it feels weird to be out here after like 2 years of living out here in the snow and the weather and everything. It feels a little weird to be inside. It's gonna take some getting used to. I might have to put a temporary handle on here. I guess it'd be easy. I can just put a block here to pull it in. Need something on the outside, but I'm gonna have to hunt around here and find something really cool for the handles inside and outside. Like on the lean-to, it's got the outside handle as a big burrow that I just ground down and polished up and then varnished. Actually, I guess that's on the inside. I don't know. Yeah, the inside's brass knuckles. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but I'm gonna have to find something weird. Alright, screw this thing together. Had these cleats kicking around since I lived on a boat several years ago, many years ago. At least for now. That'll make, I was going to pull the door closed to screw it all together and I couldn't even get a hold of it, so I think I'm just going to screw a cleat on there. That's a good start, right? We'll find something weirder later. Someday I'm going to have to get around to building some steps out here or something. I guess I'll have to wait till the spring for that. Until then, I guess we'll put this pretty low so you can actually reach it from up there. That's a floppy door for the moment. Man, the snow is deep around here. Uh-oh. Didn't quite close. Might have to plane that off a little bit. I know, I explained to you what I'm going to do like you guys care. I know you're like, come on, you monkey, just get that thing finished. Close the door, turn the heater on. You look horrible. Don't look that bad. I'm a little cold, just a little bit. Haha! Look at that. There's some weird gaps and stuff. I have to figure out how to cover those up, but it's great. I'm happy with it. You guys okay with that? I sure hope so, because that's how it's going to be. Let's see if it worked. Oh, still needs a little trim there, but look at that. That was worth it, just putting two screws in each board. Leveling it out later. Wow, that's great. All right, do a little grinding up there at the top. Yeah, it definitely needs more framing. Look at that. I mean, they're only screwed in at the very end, so see if I could figure a diagonal on the back of this. Got a nice scrap, half a 2x4. That goes perfect. Man, look at the water content in that. That's like half water, half wood. I seriously can't wait to see how this place dries out. See what happens. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be a lot of creaking and cracking and snapping, but that's what you get if you want to build something right away and you got a chainsaw and you're not good at waiting around. You get to live inside a moving, living thing. Of course, it could just completely shred itself and fall down. That'd be okay. That'd give me an excuse to build another one. Man, those Fig Newtons are good. Get stuck in your teeth, though. Oh, press fit. Nice. That's perfect. Actually, might take some of that inner bark off of here before I screw it in there. It's got a little more character. I may, when I have time, just to make it look cool, I might do another 2 pieces to make an X there. Isn't that like the Old West cabin doors or something? Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just think it'd look cool. This place looks pretty rad. It really would be a shame to insulate it. I mean, the only way you could do it and still make it look good is to do basically all the siding over again on the inside. And that is a lot of logs. Not really sure how else you could get, you know, you pay, in a house, you pay big bucks for like tongue and groove cedar, you know, do the walls and the ceiling and everything to make it look like this, which is what it already is. It doesn't need insulation now, but just trying to imagine if I were to do this and insulate it. There's not a whole lot else you could do out here with the materials growing around the property here that would look better than this, I don't think. Anyway, what do we got? All we got left is do something to maybe I put some some strips along here to close that off. This side I could actually do, I think I have some like some foam rubber strips that I could put in there that would actually get compressed inside there. So that would close up nicely. Yeah, otherwise the top and side I'll just do a 1-inch strip along there. So I guess it's time to start ripping all of my scraps down. It's supposed to be 8 below tonight, so I'm thinking I might go visit the girlfriend or something for the evening. I'm not a huge fan of waking up when it's 8 below 0. Even if the high's like 10, that's not until 3 o'clock, so not even going to get out and do anything until noon, and then the day's kind of shot. But I might as well start ripping the scraps. I'll haul them all out, make a pile, see what I've got, and then just go at it. Wow, that worked out great. Really nice. So we just got these 2 walls that need the battens. I'll have to see. I'm thinking I was thinking about doing 2-inch boards on here. I'm gonna make them as small as possible. Just wanna make sure they still cover once these dry out and shrink up. So this whole board is gonna come in quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised some of these big fat boards, you get at least a 1/4 inch shrinkage. So we got a 1/4 inch here, another couple quarters. I don't know if 1 would be enough. I'd probably do like 1.5 inch. Bigger might be more appropriate, might look nicer. I don't know. I don't know what you'd normally do this. I don't think I've ever done board and batten before, but I'm gonna go as small as possible just to cover those cracks up. I changed my mind. There's not enough daylight to do that many of the battens anyway. I don't want to haul my tools out. Just have to put them right back away. So now the exciting part. I want to see if this stove will actually work. Not going to have the gas tank in here clearly, but ooh, you know what? It's quite breezy in here. I guess I should close the door. Well, I need to put a latch on here too. That is probably not going to stay there. As I think you saw in the last video, I've got 2 40-pound tanks that I'm going to tee together, and I'm starting to think right up this back wall, that's what faces camp, faces the table and the fire pit and everything. I think I might take that generator roof that's over there that I'm built hanging off the back wall, and then I can put the chainsaw sharpener, I can mount it underneath there, the gas tanks, generator, all that stuff, and it'll be right off the back of this. So I'll probably run, got a lot of hose here, probably run this down through the floor and back and over to hook up to the 40-pound tanks. So that's 80 pounds versus this little 20-pound tank. No clue how long that'll last, how long it'll run on that, but there's no reason to start this up right now other than I'm kind of jonesing to do it, and that's a good enough reason for me. I imagine this is going to stink bad when I turn it on. Probably usually the first time you start something like that, it's like a new grill. Kind of reeks for a while, so at least it'll diffuse right out the walls. Guess that's it. I don't even know if this has a clicker on it or anything. I think it doesn't. I'm guessing you hold that down and ooh, there we go. Ooh, that is a lot of flame. Oh yeah, see it cooking already. That stinks nicely. I'm wondering, I have no idea how hot that pipe will get. It's actually not cut back nearly as far as I thought I did, but it's kind of a weird shape and at an angle, so I have to keep an eye on that. Man, that smells horrible. Yeah, I see the water dripping off of there. Getting some heat. Might crank that up a little bit more and just let it run for a little bit. Let the funk burn off for a while. Well, that was easy to hook up. Hard saying how much heat it's going to produce. Well, it doesn't smell so bad anymore. Oh, it is quite toasty right here. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Well, hopefully pick this back up day after tomorrow. As soon as I get all the battens ripped and put on, it's officially closed up enough to use. So I think next thing is putting a bunk in here in the back. Oh, I see a bunch of nails I haven't pounded in yet. Always preparing for the worst. But even before I get a bunk, unless I get a bunk in like by day after tomorrow, I'm still gonna sleep in here. I'll just sweep it out, maybe throw a tarp down or something and roll my bed pad out and try it out. Thing is still, I think day after tomorrow it's not supposed to be that cold in the evening. It's like 10 or 12 or something. I still don't tell anybody, but I'd still rather be in a tent. I don't expect anybody to understand that except for Tito. I think he gets it. But after that, a couple days, when it's really cold, I'm totally in here. Leave this thing on low. I mean, actually, I'm surprised sitting here how much heat I can feel. And that's with the door open and the wind going right through the walls. Yeah, I mean, bring on the next big snowstorm. I'm looking forward to like a 10 below night and about a foot of snow all in 12 hours. That's when I want to stay in here. That's when it'll be really fun. We'll see. I'm positive that's in the future. So if you want to come back next week, get that rest of the battens on there and get a bunk put in. And then it's really going to be fun is just to figure out where to put workbenches and all that stuff. I do realize now I'm going to have to mill up quite a few more trees in order to make, I mean, the bunk will only be 3 or 4 boards, but that's a tree. Then the workbenches, I think like an L-shaped workbench there maybe. So there's a lot of nice place to work, and I'd like to make that out of more than, I'm not going to make that out of 1 inch, probably make it at least 1.5 inch. So those will be some pretty big planks there. I don't know what we'll figure out over there. I don't know, it's going to be so fun. I wish I had another monster pile of cedar boards just sitting there waiting for me to put them in, because I could do this all in like 2 days. Anyway, okay, see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.